Five, four, three, two, one. Launch. Apollo 69 to land. Apollo 69 to land. I don't know if you can confirm, but we reached orbit and we can see a car. With further inspection, we can see that it's a Tesla. Mainland, can you confirm?
This is what probably some astronauts saw because, as you know, Elon Musk sent a freaking Tesla to outer space. He used his other company called SpaceX, and today we are doing a business analysis on why SpaceX is better than NASA. So get ready, tighten your seatbelts, and prepare yourself to go to outer space. NASA and SpaceX have come head-to-head in recent years, but what does this mean for the future of space travel? Both of these companies are exploring the unknown because we know less than 1% of what lies beyond our planet. And almost two companies come out on top as leading the way for future discoveries. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin is light years behind them. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA for short, was founded on the 1st of October 1958. Signing the National Aeronautics and Space Act, Eisenhower, NASA's president, promised that all activities in space should be devoted to peaceful purposes and for the benefit of all mankind. You know, basically no freaking weapons floating around in space. Basic stuff. Over a decade later, in 1969, Apollo 11 wrote history as the first successful moon landing. For those who think it was all fake and the moon landing didn't actually happen, well, just do your research, okay? Those conspiracy theories are just nonsense. Decades after that, Elon Musk, known as the PayPal co-founder and the founder and pioneer of electric and self-driving vehicle company Tesla, created SpaceX. The startup had a really clear goal: send a Tesla to space. Well, that too, but SpaceX's goal is to colonize Mars. The real-life Tony Stark has in fact said on many occasions that human extinction on Earth would be inevitable, suggesting that colonizing another planet would help reduce the strain on our planet, which is rapidly running out of resources. Imagine this is a game. Without resources, we are in a bit of a pickle. And in the last few years, we spend what we should in a year to be sustainable, but we do it in less than 6 months. Kinda like I do with my cookies. I eat whole packages in a day when it should last me at least a week. That's why I'm a big boy. Well, both NASA and SpaceX share a common interest in space travel, although the main goals are quite different. For example, NASA's goal is to broaden mankind's knowledge and promote discovery. SpaceX aims to utilize otherworldly resources that may help us to spread our wings one day. I think they should use their resources a little bit better, because sending a freaking car to outer space seems quite useless, don't you think? NASA is a government-owned and government-funded entity. Arguably has more flexibility than a private company. Well, maybe not as flexible as an Olympic gymnast, but still. We can thank this flexibility to the taxpayers because all of the funding comes from you and me. We have the real flexibility. The organization is currently best known for its International Space Station, a low Earth orbit space laboratory 408 kilometers above our heads. Traveling at a speed of 7.66 kilometers per second, more than 17,000 miles an hour. It was launched in 1998 as a joint venture between America, NASA, Russian Roscosmos, Japanese JAXA, European ESA, and Canadian CSA. The multinational effort was established to further our research while it became the first permanently manned Earth orbiting station. Quite an achievement. I bet Phineas and Ferb would build it faster, but a great achievement nonetheless. But NASA does more than just launch stuff into the sky. They really focus on knowledge and science. Around 1/3 of NASA's entire budget is devoted to science. That involves planetary science, Earth science, the study of the laws of physics and astrophysics and heliophysics, or the study of the sun and the solar system. NASA has also sent a pair of space probes named Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They have reached as far as Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Both of these space probes have since ventured further than what was previously unthought of in 2012. Voyager 1 entered interstellar space, an area outside of the heliosphere, where the sun's hot winds meet a colder and much denser medium. Voyager 2 has different kinds of instruments that provide scientists with new types of measurements. The 43-year-old probes are really far away by now. The Voyager 1 has traveled so much that, as of the moment of writing this, it is at a distance of 14 billion miles from Earth. Let me repeat that, 14 freaking billion miles from Earth. If that is not cool, I really don't know what is. I would really recommend you checking out Voyager's status website. It is really cool and you can see live information from both space probes. Despite all this, they can still communicate with the probe. Just to put it into perspective, the information that comes from the probes travels at the speed of light, but it takes more than 16 hours to reach Earth, while the light from the sun takes just 8 minutes. You get how freaking far away those probes have traveled? Once again, Phineas and Ferb would be proud. NASA wants to get back to the moon's surface by 2024, with the first women to set foot on the moon as well. With the information provided from this journey and its hundreds of other experiments to push the one giant leap forward to Mars, NASA's primary goal is to expand our knowledge on space-related matters, but they also have tried to focus on matters much closer to home. For example, a research project on air quality is being carried out in conjunction with the American Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA. Using really advanced LiDAR technology, they measure smoke produced in wildfires, which have a really degrading impact on our planet's air quality. They should research Snoop Dogg. A normal day for him is a foggy day for us. NASA is also researching climate change, more specifically the flow of glaciers. They are also testing and researching energy. The organization's space shuttle already makes use of hydrogen fuel, and the company is looking to expand hydrogen as a primary fuel source on land too. Now, SpaceX, the billionaire's dream. Well, maybe not Jeff Bezos' dream because he has his own aerospace company. If you guys want to see a head-to-head on Elon Musk's SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, feel free to check out our channel because we already have a video about it. And of course, Perry the Platypus would be really happy if you subscribed. SpaceX, the company owned by the real-life Iron Man, Elon Musk, compared to NASA, SpaceX is just a baby. And since it is a private company, it is harder to stay alive because just like every other private company or startup, cash flow is everything. Money, money, money! If Elon fails to strike out big enough deals with the right people, then the future of his company could be doomed. The majority of SpaceX's company's revenue comes from space launches. Commercial and military satellites are proving to be very successful for the company. I mean, Elon really knows how to make a successful company, and how to make big bucks with it as well. SpaceX currently operates 2 rockets, Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. Their purposes are to transport people. Dragon, a different type of reusable cargo spacecraft, was launched into orbit by the company's Falcon 9. It is really important because it can transport both crew and cargo, making it similar to what is experienced on Earth with oxygen levels, air pressure, and more. Kind of like a little Earth with a rocket attached. They also have another rocket style called the Starship, which can carry massive payloads to space and has been developed with a company's ultimate goal in mind to colonize Mars. One day, it's believed that Starship will be able to transport people to Mars to form a colony. SpaceX has found different ways to create revenue. They have built and launched Starlink, a constellation of thousands of small mass-produced satellites that will provide planet Earth with fast, low-latency internet access, even in the most remote of places. Say no more to slow internet when hiking. Even if you go to Everest, you can see the rest of your favorite TV shows. They should hire me to make their slogan. Now, we get why SpaceX is better than NASA. Despite their differences, NASA really needs SpaceX. Because in 2011, NASA didn't have a space shuttle replacement and instead built their own. They rented other people's work, and those people were SpaceX. After all, why buy a car when you can commission a taxi for a journey that you take not so often? The same train of thought was applied, and SpaceX delivered. The Dragon that we have talked about before was the first ever commercial docking on the International Space Station, the first time any other company had interacted in such a way with NASA's work. SpaceX was also the first private company to send NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, something that previously had only been done in-house. NASA really relies on SpaceX to fulfill a lot of the work. Just like in Phineas and Ferb, we really need a Candace to fulfill the story. Mom! Phineas and Ferb built a rocket ship! Although SpaceX is going to change humanity and space travel. Arguably better than NASA, SpaceX wouldn't be here without NASA. Because in 2006, NASA began investing in private companies looking to outsource much of its work in favor of ultimately ending up cheaper. The American government-funded body, as a result, funded about half of the development costs for the Falcon 9 rocket, which it would later rely on. This is really the meaning of what goes around, comes around. In 2008, a multi-billion-dollar contract was awarded to Musk's company to fly cargo to the International Space Station. Now, in 2021, NASA forms a large part of the private company's revenue. Both companies have become so reliant on one another that it's unlikely that they are going anywhere anytime soon. SpaceX is the flashy, really go-all-in or go-home type of company, and NASA is the typical government-owned organization, managing and focusing on science and research. But the most important thing is that both of the organizations work together to accelerate the process to make us an interplanetary species. Although the purpose may be different, both companies share similar goals of reaching points in outer space, such as Mars. NASA and SpaceX have recently been selected to design a moon lander, which will help the government-funded Artemis program reach the moon by 2024. Collaboration always ends up to be beneficial, and with cheaper and more frequent flights on the card, it only means one thing: more research will be carried out, helping both companies achieve goals of expanded knowledge and space travel. Maybe one day, maybe even sooner than we think, we can go on a moonwalk on a commercial moon landing. Wouldn't that be cool? With all that said, I really hope you enjoyed our video, and at least you learned a thing or two. If you liked it, feel free to smash that like and subscribe button, leave a comment down below on which company is the best. Thank you so much. See ya!